I just remembered this story today, but it happened about 8 years ago. About 2013. I was managing a popular shoe store in an outlet mall. This happened during a pretty slow time of the year, so I had scheduled myself to close alone. Customers were mainly coming into the store one at a time, and at one point in the evening this particular gentleman walked in. I'll call him CG for Crazy Guy. I welcomed CG into the store and asked the generic, "What can I help you find today?" CG: "I need a new pair of shoes, those at the airport destroyed mine." Me: "Wow, that's crazy. Did they get caught in the X-ray belt or something?" CG: "No, they did it right in front of me with a knife. I just need a pair for work right now." I helped him find his size and got him set up with a few pair to try on. He's being a bit picky for someone who just needs a pair to get him by while traveling, but it's not like I didn't have the time to give him the individual attention. He finally picks out one of the pair I had brought him and he asks the price. Me: "This pair is $69.95. CG: "Of course you show me the most expensive ones in the store, you hole." Me: "Stunned, excuse me?" CG laughs: "I'm just joking, I'll take 'em." Me: "We do have a second pair for $10 promo right now if you liked any of the others as well." CG: "You cur." Me: "Dude, I'm required to let you know the promo. You don't need to take it." CG: "I'm just kidding. I only want the one." I carry his shoes to the register and ask if he needs socks. CG: "I'll burn this place down." Me: "Did I say something to upset you?" CG: "Man, no one has a sense of humor anymore." Me: "So, this whole thing about TSA cutting up your shoes. Did you make a joke about a bomb?" CG: "Like I said, no one has a sense of humor anymore." I just processed his transaction and off he went. The guy just couldn't stop trying to insult or scare people. You'd think he'd have learned his lesson in the airport. A recent post I read reminded me of this little incident. Where I used to work, we had a customer come in and buy a table saw. A few days later he came in, saying his son's hand was injured by the blade because there was no blade guard. My manager at the time asked me to go find the same table saw, open the box, and check to see if it came with a guard. I confirmed they did, and told my manager with the customer standing there. The customer replied, "I didn't bother coming to ask you guys and didn't think much of it because I know some table saws don't come with a guard." At least from what I witnessed, this guy wasn't irate or anything like that. From what I heard, his son was an early teenager, very inexperienced with tools. My guess is he let his son use the saw without supervision. Me and my manager figured either the guard was missing, or most of the time, like I saw, it was taped into a styrofoam pocket and he didn't see it. The customer claimed he threw out all the boxes and foam. A few days later, my bosses are informed the store and the cooperation are being sued by the customer because of the injury his son got. My manager asked me to write down a statement of what the customer said regarding some saws don't come with guards. During the lawsuit, the customer would still come into shop, and was baffled why he wouldn't get service. One staff member said, "Because you are actively suing us. We can't help you when you're taking us to court." I'm not entirely sure of the end result. All I know is my store was cleared by court of any wrongdoing, and it was then between him and corporate. This is quite an old one. I used to work grocery. At my store, we had the break room at the back, which toward the end of my employment I rarely used because I had a boss who was a micromanaging asshat and loved to call people over the intercom who were on their breaks. If I never had to hear his voice again, it'd be too soon. Maybe one day I'll post the amount of BS he pulled. Anyway, and outside there was a small bench off to the side of the store, and well away from the front doors, that a lot of the employees used to smoke breaks. During this particular time, I was on parking lot duty, and it was payday. I was sitting by the benches grabbing a breather waiting for more cards to wander out when one of my favorite co-workers happened by for his check. We sat out for a minute and talked. I went on about how today was just the day from hell and everyone was just super angry. Our boss was up to his antics as he is, we all hated him, maybe save one employee who sucked up to him, and I'm just over it. As it happens, around the corner from the benches, A customer was sitting right there eavesdropping and confronted me saying you should be thankful you even have a job right now. People are struggling out there looking for work and here you are complaining about how hard you have it. You should be ashamed. I just uttered a thanks for sharing, have a nice day and left it, thinking nothing of it. About 2 days later I roll into work and immediately get called into the office. I'm used to this by now because the office is up a big flight of stairs and normally people in my job class get called up to the office to, say, ferry paperwork to and from outer departments because no one else wanted to use those damn stairs. Not this time. It was regarding a customer complaint. The very same customer that got on my case a couple days prior. She actually went through the motions of calling corporate and saying I should be fired for being an ungrateful employee when there are better people out there who need jobs. It thankfully didn't result in me getting fired. Corporate didn't look much into it, they just gave the customer the old "we're so sorry, we'll forward this to the store manager and make it right," and it was forwarded to the store manager. The store manager, who I was totally cool with, just said, "Hey, I don't really care, but next time y'all are talking just keep it down and be cognizant of who's around you, okay?" Thankfully customers like that were very few and far in between. We had a few stinkers, sure, but most of the strife at my jobs was actually the co-workers. Worked customer service, returns desk at a big box home improvement store during college, and this is the one that still makes me smile at humanity's brashness. Woman comes in with an entire cart full of individually boxed CFL bulbs. I want to return these. You can look it up on my card. She tries to hand me her credit card. I am no slouch at this game, but even I am astonished and simultaneously amused at her gambit. "Ma'am, these are the Earth Day CFL bulbs we gave out for free with purchase. All day yesterday." She is completely unfazed by this. She had her next lines practiced. "No, I purchased these. Look it up on the card." Waves the card at me again, trying to get me to take it. Nope. I pick up a box from the cart. "Ma'am, look here where the barcode usually is." No barcode. It says promotional item. I cannot look it up, or return it. She pauses to consider this, as if it is news to her. "Okay, I'll take store credit then." I almost fell over the counter laughing. Went over the tapes with the LP later, and she sat out there in the parking lot for hours the day before, asking customers for their free CFL bulbs. I worked for a grocery store in the late 90s early 2000s. The boss was super into going above and beyond with customers. This meant that if someone asked a question about one of our products, we would bust it open for them to sample, things like that. So anyway, this lady asked if she could borrow a cake mix box for a second so she could copy the recipe. She didn't want to buy it, but she wanted the recipe. I took the box, photocopied the recipe for her and sent her on her merry way. She wound up being a mystery shopper and gave me a great review. This was a great rarity for my usual not figuring out how to helpness. Remember, this was before camera phones were a thing. I guess I could have given her the box of cake, but she said this was the perfect solution that keeps money in the company's pocket while helping the customer in an unexpected way. She was literally asking for printer paper and a pen to copy it down. Ah, the 90s. After telling him I do make commission, he started putting headphones, VRs, wireless chargers on his desk, and he asked me to bring him the most expensive phone we have. It was weird. He also made weird eye contact with me, just wasn't right. Anyways, he tells me I forgot my wallet in my truck. I'll be right back, and then laughing he tells me, I'm coming back with a shotgun and shooting the place up, and he laughed. Two things went through my head. 1. Tell my manager, but if the man was joking, customers would get scared and just end up wrong, and I didn't want to get in trouble even for doing the right thing. 2. Our counters, desks were full marble, so I would duck down and maneuver my way out. I would be capable. I was just sweating my ass off. I see him come out of his truck, no shotgun. He came back, bought everything he put on the counter, and just left like nothing. Because I get commission, I am able to see if a customer returns an item he never returned them. I still don't understand if he was serious, but decided not to do it.